Poverty is unsolved problem forever. Because poverty is the oldest problem in the world. We have poverty when we start to have money system. Before that, we don't use the word poor or rich. We use the word happy or suffer or comfortable or unrest. That's what we used in the past. But when we start to have money system, we start to use the word poor and rich. Every government try to solve poverty problem. But the more they try to solve this problem, the problem become bigger and more complicated. Now we have more and more poor people increase every part of the world. And these people, they are more poor than poor. Because in the past, when we say poor, this means we have no money. But now when we say poor, it means we have debt. It's not only no money, but we have debt too. We have to make money to pay to somebody, even we have no money. That is what we call super poor. Super poor is spreading all over the world now. That means we did not solve the problem. Every government said that we want to solve poverty problem. But every time when they try to solve the problem, it increases more poverty in the world. Why is that? That's because we did not really want to solve poverty problem. Because the government were controlled by politicians, and politicians were controlled by rich people. So whenever the government make a law, all the law will make people become more poor. It's harder and harder for poor people to change their status, to be a better life, to have a better life. That's the point of the rich people. They want to have more poor. If they have more poor people, they can be more rich. That's the aim. That's why all the policy that we have now, it seems like they're going to help poor people, but actually they just want to make us survive day by day. They want us to be a slave forever. Many governments, they try to solve the problem, like for help farmer. They never teach farmer how to manage money, how to process their leftover produce, how to sell it, how to marketing it. We did not support farmer to do that at all. But instead, we give them money. Giving money to people is populism. It's not good for farmer because it's the way to make them become a beggar. They will become a person who just want to consume, want to spend money, but don't want to make money because they know that the government will give them. So to do populism, it caused a lot of economic collapse in many countries in the world. It did not help the poor, but it helped politicians, it helped rich people to have more cheap labor, to have more people who have less resistance to their power. So if government want to really help farmer, help the poor, they need to have policy to train them how to manage money. In many countries like in Thailand, we never seen the government have policy to teach people how to manage money. Like in the school, even in the school, we need to learn this money from the beginning, from the primary school. How to have money, how to manage money, how to invest money, how to produce things. We need to learn something like this. But until now, most of farmers in many countries, they don't know even how to do accounting in their farming. They don't know how many bags of fertilizer that they put in their rice. They don't know how much they pay for gas. They don't know how much they pay for seed, how much money they pay for chemical. They don't know. But whenever they say they saw their rice not green enough, they just buy and put it in, buy and fertilizer and put it in. So when they harvest the rice, even it's lower than the cost they expend, but they don't know what is the real cost that they spent on it. That's why people become more poor and poor and poor, but still do the same thing over and over and over. But the government never think about to solve this problem, never really have a school, have a system to train farmer to do accounting in this way. Managing money is the key factor to solve poverty problem. If we have good understanding, good intention, good management, people can solve their problem easily. So the government cannot make people become rich. If politician or if some government say that we will make everybody become rich, that's the liar. Because to change their status, to become rich or poor, it depends on each person. It's not about the government or anybody will change us. For example, some people who won the lottery, they got a lot of money. They become rich in one day. But all the money will be gone in a very short time. They become poor again. That means if we give money to people, it never solves the problem of, never solves the poverty problem. So the way the government can do is just to create more chance for poor people to change their status. If they want to make money, if they want to solve their poverty problem, they can learn how to manage money. They learn how to process their product, how to become product, how to do some products to sell. And then government need to support them about the market. So if they have market, they have wisdom, have knowledge, have technology, how to process what they have, and have good money management technique. People can change their status easily. For example, like in Thailand, when we grow a lot of rice, but when the price of rice drop very low, lower than their investment, but they have to sell it. Even many farmers, they know how to change their rice into whiskey. Which, if they do that, they can make more money. They will not lose their money. But the government have the law, you cannot make whiskey from rice. If you want to make whiskey, you need to meet this standard. They have the criteria of safety standard. So that criteria is just make it more complicated for farmer, like to get food and drug approved that your food is good. It's not easy for farmer, but it's easy for rich people. So if the government want to help this part, the government have to support the poor, be able to develop their products, support them, help them to be able to get approved with no cost. Because they are poor, they need to have more chance to compete in the market. But now the system is just allow only rich people who can have a lot of products in the market. But poor people cannot approach to the market. So this is not the way to solve the problem. So the whole thing, it tells us that no government want to help the poor really so far. Because if they really want to help the poor, we will not have a lot of poor people increase too much like now, too fast right now. Even in developed country, many developed countries, the number of poor is higher and higher every year. Even they're so high-tech, so democracy, so developed, but people are more and more and more poor. Some people live in a big and fancy house, have a nice car, but big debt. They just can't sleep in the night time. They don't know when the bank will take everything away from them. So that's we call super poor. So now if we think about solving poverty problem, we should not give money to the poor, but we need to give the knowledge, the technique, the wisdom, how the poor can change their status and support them. That is the real way for the poor. This is the perspective of a farmer like me. Because I grew up as a poor, as a farmer, I know that what we can do. I know that the government never support what we need. And then we know that the government support only the rich people. So that's why there are so many poor people in the world now. Do you think we will have a good government that can solve our problem? That's a big question. From all my life, I haven't seen any of them yet. So, what can we do?